Birds of Prey issue 9, Chuck Dixon writing, Greg Land on art, and we have a very typical setup for an issue of Birds of Prey. Dinah's looking for someone somewhere. When the issue opens, I'll tell you. But she's on the run from the Iron Brigade in this case, but the local military, and she's
That looks suspiciously like those villains in Flash.
Bizarrely, but obviously there's years apart, so it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's actually a really glorious page here. There's a 2-page spread of like Dinah, standing there with all the lasers of the guns pointing at her, and she's just kind of like, whatever, and she's just got a smirk in her face. It's a nice page. But this is almost like a proof of concept issue. It's almost like, okay, that last issue, if you didn't like that it was more focused on Nightwing and Babs, we're going to give you the most typical Birds of Prey, and I mean this as a compliment, but the action of it, other than the ending, which reveals where the story's kind of going, because it's got a cliffhanger that I'm sure they're going to dive into, and some of the continuing world building of the Pentagon people tracking Barbara's use of their tech and satellites, is that Dinah's in action's happening, but what really makes it pop is the banter between Dinah and Barbara, and them talking about Jason, cracking jokes about how many Jasons Barbara knows, and she's like, "Well, what Jason? I mean, Jason Blood, Jason Todd, like I've got tons of Jasons."
This is what I missed last issue, basically. Like I say, this is the typical Birds of Prey issue. This is what I want out of this book. I want these two, Dinah just doing her action stuff, Babs talking her through stuff, but really informally, just kind of chatting along, having kind of a really good back and forth.
Yeah, well, I miss it because I still liked last issue, but this is still the main appeal of the book. So coming back to this obviously feels comfortable. It feels nice and relaxing. They talk about Bab's weird pen pal, who Bab acknowledges might be a 12-year-old in a basement, and that's okay. It's just a pen pal, whatever.
It's like, that's the internet for you, basically.
Yeah. So that's all going. I do kind of like that. This guy in the Pentagon who was hunting her down and failed spectacularly because she led him to Blockbuster. I love that he's furious here because Babs has like accessed a satellite that's off the books. It's meant to be like top secret. No one's meant to know about it. And he's like, yeah, but we can't keep chasing her because we screwed up last time, and we have to hope no one notices. I kind of like that this is continuing, but it's continuing in a different manner where, it's building to something. Like this running gag of like her using their tech. It's evolving.
Yeah, and I actually really like the pacing of this here because it's a military satellite that has weapons capabilities, and he's like, all right, okay, let's not jump the gun here. They've accessed it. What are the chances of them arming it? And then the very next panel is just all clear, fire.
The very next page it's not a full page, but it's like 2/3 of a page is just the laser beam coming down from the sky. So the comic timing here is really good. And this is when they're bantering about the Jasons and whatnot. And the Jason will be fine eventually. It's taking a bit of time. Mm-hmm. I actually kind of like the reason why she even asked is because the bright flash of the laser made Dinah cover her eyes, and that made her think, oh, Jason, yeah, he was kind of blind. How's he doing? Like, I appreciated something motivated it, and
it wasn't just random.
Yeah, and it was a callback to something that happened in the book, so it was a nice little continuity thing. So, of course, they get to this door where they're going. Whoever's in charge of this country they're in, he gets woken up to be alerted by what's going on. But the main thing is that Dinah gets to the scientist who insists that they can't leave without someone else. They have to go downstairs and get someone else. So they go down there. There's like a classic style test tube chamber with someone in a liquid all hooked up to various things. And this scientist says, no, we have to get this guy out of here. And the big cliffhanger with the most mushroom cut of mushroom cuts. Guy Gardner comes out of this test tube.
Oh. If I wasn't enjoying this issue enough, you throw me a Guy Gardner. This was made for me. This was an apology after the last issue, just for me.
Oh dear, yeah. I mean, obviously the last page ruined the book for me, but yeah. I mean, it's a fun issue. It's got everything you want in a Birds of Prey issue. The back and forth with Dinah and Babs might even be the best it's been, because maybe it's just like Dixon's at this point is become so comfortable with their voices that everything's clicking, and there's a history that they're referencing back to now, so it's starting to feel like it's not just banter. It's feeling like it's actually the ongoing story is being told
It's because
partly through it.
they're not just building this relationship anymore. There is a relationship, and they're just referencing back on their own stuff now.
Yes, and then the cliffhanger is like, okay, what are we doing? Why was Guy Gardner in this container? What's going on? So fun, fun issue, and the art is typically pretty good. Obviously, some Greg Landiness here or there, but like we've said before, this is before he got really bad. So
yeah,
so no, that's a fun issue. What are you giving it?
This is exactly what I wanted from the book. This is an 8.5.
Straight 8 out of 10 from me. Very good, very good.